Hello, everybody. This is Pastor Willie, and this is the encouraging word for today. Sometimes we read the Bible and we read a character in the Bible, a real life character, and their life appears so much higher than our life. I look at Paul's life. We've been studying Paul's life, and he seems on a totally different level. It's almost like watching a Superman movie where it's a superhero, and I can reading about him. I can think about him, but I can't imagine myself living like he did, in terms of how he responded to situations, how he handled situations, how he lived his life. He's on like a Superman of faith, like a character in a movie who we enjoy watching, but that's not ever going to be us, like a different type of human being. For example, one time in Acts chapter 14, Paul is dragged outside of the city by a crowd, and they pick up rocks and they stone him. That means throwing rocks at him. I'm sure he's covering himself up, but rocks are pelting him from all sides, and he falls down, and they leave him for dead. They think he's dead. They look at him. It looks like he's dead. They hit him with stones. And I'm not talking about little pebbles. They're probably throwing bricks and things like that at him. But in Acts 14:20, it says, he got up. It says they left him for dead. And then in Acts 20:14 says he got up and went back into the city. He went right back into where the trouble was. And apparently he was supernaturally healed in that moment. Not a normal person. And I look at myself and I say, if someone started throwing stones at me, I would go in the other direction. Sometimes I lay awake at night worrying about some situation. Paul seems to sleep through storms, through many different things. And so I think I can't do that. But it's true, we can't do those things. And it's also true that Paul couldn't do those things either. There was a book I read many years ago, and the title was They Found the Secret. They Found the Secret. It was by a man, Raymond Edman, V. Raymond Edman. And it was little biographies of different people in history who found the secret. And it was all about the secret of living with power from on high, living in God's power, not our own power. Jesus, in fact, said in Acts 1:4, wait, he said to the disciples, wait in Jerusalem until you receive power from on high. In our power, we cannot do what God calls us to do. Paul, in his own power, could not do it. In our power, we cannot defeat Satan. In our power, we cannot live a holy life that pleases God. In our power, we cannot be his witnesses. We cannot be bold. We cannot overcome sins, life-controlling sins in our power. We cannot be fearless in our own power. But in God's power, we can. In fact, Paul said in 1 Corinthians 12:9-11, an amazing verse. This is what he said. Paul said, I boast in my weaknesses so that Christ's power may rest on me. Because when I am weak, then I am strong. He found the secret, so to say, the secret of living in God's power. I want to find that secret. Now that brings us to our topic for today, which is the second part of the prayer that Satan hates. Now, Paul is in prison. He's praying for others while he's in prison. Doesn't seem to be that distressed that he's in prison. Nothing stops prayer. Nothing can stop the influence of prayer in the world, not even a prison cell. And so in Colossians 1:11 through 12, he's giving, actually starting in verse 9, he's giving a prayer, writing down a prayer that he's praying for other people. And I'm sure he prayed for himself many times also. And so in Colossians 1, verse 11 and 12, he prays that they would be strengthened with all power according to his might, so that you may have great endurance and patience, and giving joyful thanks to the Father, who has qualified you to share in the inheritance of his holy people in the kingdom of light. He's praying that they be strengthened with all power, but not their power, the power according to his, God's glorious might. The secret, so that they may have great endurance. You see, if we're filled with God's power, not our own power, we will have great endurance, perseverance through all kinds of difficulty, like Paul had, because it was not his power. He was weak. He said he was weak in his weakness, but God's power, God's strength was resting on him, so he could have great endurance and patience. I don't have to tell you that in myself, I don't have patience, especially when I'm tired or hungry. I don't have patience. But in God's power, he can give us the patience of Jesus. And then we'll be giving joyful thanks to the Father in his power, even in bad situations. I'm praising God. I'm giving thanks to God because he's giving me the power to give thanks to him in all situations. I need that. I want that. I am going to seek that. And I believe we can pray that prayer that we just read for ourselves. God, fill me with your power. Strengthen me in my inner being with power from on high. We can pray that for others, as Paul was doing. And I encourage you this week, pray that prayer for yourself. Pray it something like this: God, strengthen me with all power according to your glorious might, so that I can have great endurance and patience and can joyfully give thanks to the Father. So I'll see you again tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be on Facebook Live at 7:15 a.m. Live in God's power. God bless you.